We're going to get to the Republican response, but there were so many. Like, which one was the Republican?
The official one.
Okay, what was the official one? That was Joni Ernst.
Yes, right.
Okay.
And then there was an official one in Spanish.
Oh, okay. And then?
And then the rest were freelancing.
Why?
But because that's where the Republican Party is right now.
Well, doesn't that show how fractured they are?
Of course. But that's
okay. I was just checking. All right,
that's the way Democrats used to be.
Okay, so I thought it was strange. But anyhow, a slew of responses to the president's address. First of all, Hillary Clinton tweeted her support for the president's middle-class message. Of course she did. But her possible presidential foe, Democrat Jim Webb, said he wasn't a fan. And though the president called for a, quote, better politics, Mitt Romney blasted him for choosing politics over leadership. What? Okay. The main televised response came from Senator Joni Ernst, on the job just 2 weeks, who told her personal story of growing up, working at Hardee's, wearing bread bags over her shoes, and in her speech, she wasted little time in opposing the president.
We'll also keep fighting to repeal and replace a health care law that's hurt so many hardworking families. We'll work to correct executive overreach. We'll propose ideas that aim to cut wasteful spending and balance the budget with meaningful reforms, not higher taxes like the president has proposed.
All right, Republican Congressman Carlos Curbelo gave the Republican response in Spanish. He discussed immigration reform, where Ernst did not, highlighting a rift in the party. Likely presidential candidate Senator Rand Paul gave his own take, striking a populist tone. He faulted the president for racial income disparity and highlighted growing racial unrest.
My trips to Ferguson, Detroit, Atlanta, and Chicago have revealed what I call an undercurrent of unease. There is a tension that has become visible in the protests in every American city. As Congressman John Lewis put it, there is growing discontent in this country.
What? Still, it wouldn't be a State of the Union without some kind of gaffe. So thank you for Senator Ted Cruz. He had that. His office actually did it. I feel bad for him. This happens, right?
We've all had
this happens.
Making my Texas look bad.
Never the wrong camera.
Never happened to me.
Okay, so he had this video editing team that posted his video that was eventually taken down from YouTube, but it came out a little wrong. Take a look.
The president tried to say his policies are lifting the middle class, and yet today, median incomes have stagnated for over a decade. Let me start over. Tonight, America saw a powerful demonstration that it is time to move on beyond President Barack Obama.
A Cruz staffer tweeted, yes, sometimes it takes him 2 takes, but not often. Well, luckily, the guy is actually a very gifted orator. He can go on and on and on and on without notes, and so, but it's, come on, guys. Just put the right video up. Come on.
It happens.
I'm furious.
No, it's embarrassing the Texas dadgummit. Us Texans don't like to look bad.
Joni Ernst was the official Republican response, and I got to tell you, relative to other Republican responses I've seen,
or Democratic
ones, I think she was really good. Do I agree with everything she said? No, but it's a terrible position.
It's a ridiculous position. You have the hall of the House of Representatives with all of its history and pomp and ceremony and everybody cheering, and then you go to some poor soul alone in a room with a teleprompter.
Yes,
and
it's an awful experience.
And she was clearly quite nervous, but she didn't do anything to embarrass herself,
which is a victory.
Which is a victory.
But that's why when Governor Bob McDonnell, when he was governor of Virginia, that was the best response. When he did it in the chambers there, you had the audience there. I don't understand why they don't go that route.
He's gifted on that.
The only way you remember the response to the State of the Union is if they screw up memorably or they go and drink water. There's no way to break through that. I think Koki's right. It's
and the water thing is actually, that was Marco Rubio.
Yep. Yeah.
I felt felt for him, because you really don't know what that's like until you've done it.
You're following the President of the United States.
No, you think you know until you've done it, and you think you know when you've practiced. There is nothing like sitting in a room with a live camera on you, having to talk, and it really does sometimes.
Particularly coming after this big event, you know, that is
the president. And on top of it, I mean, what did she do before? She wasn't on television. She doesn't have.
No, she did fine. And it was very smart of the Republicans to put her out.
Really smart. She delivered.
A female veteran. She's young, and
she wore camouflage shoes.
She did. She wore cool shoes, and there are, and this is all groups of people that the party needs.